Chapter 24, Maniac Magee. They got back to the band shelf just as they finished the last of the crimpets. Grayson looked at his watch. Guess it's time to quit the job I never did today. Time for dinner, too. Grayson was joking, but Maniac was serious when he piped, "Great, where to?" Dumbfounded, the old man drove back to the back of the park nearest the diner, where they sat with a cup of coffee while the boy wolfed down meatloaf, gravy, mashed potatoes, zucchini, salad, and coconut custard pie. Grayson had a way of jumping into a particular subject without warning, and it was during Maniac's dessert that he abruptly said, "Them black people, they eat mashed potatoes too?" Maniac thought he was kidding. Then he realized he wasn't. Sure. Mrs. Beale used to have a lot of potatoes, mashed in every other way. Mrs. Who? Mrs. Beale. Do you know the Beales of 728 Sycamore Street? The old man shook his head no. Well, they were my family. I had a mother, a father, a little brother, a sister, and a sister my age, and a dog, and my own room, too. Grayson stared out the window as if digesting this information. How about meatloaf? Huh? They eat meatloaf, too? Sure, meatloaf, too. And peas, and corn, you name it. Cake? Maniac beamed. Oh, man, you kidding? Mrs. Beale makes the best cakes in the world. Grayson's eyes narrowed. Toothbrushes? They use them, too? Maniac fought not to smile. Absolutely. We had our toothbrushes hanging in the bathroom. I know that, said Grayson, impatient. But is it there's the same? The same as ours? No difference that I could see. You didn't drink out of the same glass, did you? Absolutely we did. The information seemed to shock the old man. Maniac laid down his fork. Grayson, they're just regular people like us. I was never in a house of theirs. Well, I'm telling you, it's the same. Their bathtubs, refrigerators, rugs, and TVs, and beds. Grayson was wagging his head. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? It was after dark when they got back to the baseball equipment room. The worm in Grayson's head had long since ceased to be a tiny tickle. It was now a maddening itch. As with all such inchworms, it would exit only by one route, the mouth. He said, I was thinking, maybe you want to come over to my place. This here floor is pretty hard. He tapped his foot to show how hard. The grizzled gray old park hand could never know how much Maniac was tempted or how deeply the offer touched him. Neither could Maniac explain that the bad luck he always seemed to have with parents led him to the conclusion that he better stick to himself. Oh, it's not so bad here, he said. Look. He laid out the chest protectors and closed his eyes. Just like a mattress. I can feel myself dozing off already. And then, not wanting to hurt the old man's feelings, he quickly added, Hey, I told you everything about me. How about you? He pulled Grayson's coat over himself. A bedtime story. Grace snorted. Story? I have no stories. Sure you do, Maniac prodded. About yourself. You know, about you. Everyone has a story. Not me, Grayson was edging for the door. I ain't got no story. I ain't nobody. I work for the park. You line baseball fields? Yep, I do that. You live at the Y, you drive the park pickup, you like butterscotch crimpets. Grayson shook his head. Well, not as much as you. I was eating them to be friendly, so you wouldn't have to eat them all by yourself. And there's also something about you, Mason. Maniac joked. You're a liar. They both laughed. Grayson opened the door. Wait, called Maniac. What did you want to grow up to be when you were a kid? Grayson paused in the doorway. He looked out into the night. A baseball player, he said. Then he turned out the light and closed the door.